Hello once again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Trumans. It's your host, Lance Renard, in a Haphazard Universe production. Oh my God. It is an amazing day. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day. I got up this morning, and the place that I live in with the water well drillers, give you a little clue, drilling the wells. Whoops. It's true. And absolutely couthless. Couthless is no couth. That was condescending. I apologize, but no, actually, I'm giving you information. No couth, no integrity, no dignity, and very little honor, if any. Determined by their actions, do I make my observations. It's not like I'm out to judge people, but I will be observant and particular and specific and such. And the first thing I do when I wake up, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd gotten home in about home. That was a good one. I'd gotten to the place of operations at this point about midnight, and got to sleep in about 20 minutes, and up at 5 because my couthless cousin doesn't like to flush the toilet. And I know that's no way to wake up. I'm just telling you, I had to vacate the area in order for me to be able to alleviate myself. I'm sure that tree really enjoyed it in the front yard, as well as the neighbors. That's the 15th time in this month, and it's only the 12th. Okay. Yeah, couthless bastards. The unfortunate reality of our observations can be that in itself. You know, you try to keep from judging, but at the same time, you have your own moral integrity and dignity that you would prefer people not dissuade, as it were. So, up and out, and to my morning coffee spot where I hang out with the police officers, and Achtung, mach schnell, Herr Hitler! No, these guys are pretty good, and I don't communicate as much of the information to them, but I do, as a matter of fact, in the video I posted yesterday about the sheriff. And yeah, it's really good to see people that want to stand up, that will stand up to tyranny, at least say they will. And this is the beginning. Use the beginning days. And I feel remiss, for every word I say, a person dies in the world somewhere. And due to the oppression, and not to COVID, COVID's bullshit. You all have COVID. We have all had COVID. That's why they picked COVID, because they injected most of the kids in the world with it, some strain of it. When you were born, that was, part of your injection. Have you ever asked a nurse or a doctor what's in that before they shove it in your arm, right? When I brought my little pudgy son in to get his very first shot, I asked him that. And the answer is a bunch of stuff. If you get a box of cereal, it's got a list of all the ingredients in the cereal. If you get a jug of water and you look at the water, it's got a list of the details of the water. If you get a vaccination, it's a bunch of stuff. All right. Anyone want to, question that? Nope, we're all good with it. Who cares? It's just stuff. We trust the mind control. Oh, I'm sorry, government. Learn Latin. Fortunately, I did learn Latin when I was younger. Training to be a Catholic priest, Domine Vistum, Spiritu Christum. And found all of the fallacies and holes and ridiculous aspects and absolute Satanism in relation to their own training, in relation to the training. And any priest or person that goes into the priesthood, or you've got to scrutinize what the hell they're saying and versus what they're actually doing. I mean, don't you think? Give it a shot. And that's not why I quit the priesthood. No, I was just checking it out, summer school at the seminary kind of thing. My mom had just married a new man, and they wanted their alone time. And fortunately, they had 2 sons. My little brother became a sniper, and ironically, my father was, and my stepfather, my brother's father, was a military artillerist specialist. in artillery. And, yeah, my brother isn't with us anymore. Excuse me, my father isn't with us anymore. And I am. They both use the crosshairs to alleviate the pains of our society by taking out some of the more insidious elements, as known as Nazis and terrorists. Right. So, mission by mission, point by point, they moved along, and I'd smoke a joint. It all rhymes. Yes, I do advocate the medicinal qualities of any particular substance. However, anything made by man is poison. Any and every. I mean, hell, 10,000 people die every year from coffee. 20,000 people die every year from aspirin. So everything essentially is a poison except for the one little detail that people have never died on, never once in history has there been a death caused, aside from, the gangster stuff, by the hoochie coochie, otherwise known as Mary Jane. And that's all bigotry. I mean, actually, if you look at that video that I put out, marijuana, we are, once again, in every episode that I put out, well, not everyone, but, I admit I'm brainwashed too. I'm trying to break myself free of that. And as I've mentioned in the past, the government has made some mistakes with my situation and charged me for child support $1,250 a month when I was just starting a business. For 3 years, they let that backlog, and then they shut me down, froze my accounts, canceled my license, threw me in jail, and said, you owe us $36,000, and it was all a mistake. 15 years later, after I had paid off that $36,000 working in steel fabrication and high-end paying jobs that I could find with my past railroad experience and photography experience, they called me up, and it was 15 years later. I had taken care of it, this fictitious detail, but lost my photography corporation in Jacksonville, Florida, where I had accounts with Harley Davidson, Toys R Us, Jacksonville State University, Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce, and a variety of others that were each worth probably $3 to $4 million a year. I would say Harley would be 10 to 20 a year, and that was 20 years ago. Well, you got to get over minor details when people make mistakes. We didn't do it on purpose, Mr. Renard, so I forgive you. But in the meantime, I have been set up. I took all this training that's allowed me to activate because the president called in a national emergency. And according to my training in a national emergency, I am obligated to mitigate emergencies as I see fit for the good of the people and the good of the country. And that is exactly what happened with me. I mean, I was just an average Joe thinking I'd never use that stupid certificate for anything because I ain't going to join them. I wanted to for FEMA, FEMA, F-E-M-A, Federal Emergency Management Agency. I just wanted a job, go out to farmers' houses in Katrina and write up assessments and give a guy a break and that kind of thing. So, yeah, and then they never got back to me. It was 2.5 years before they actually even got back to me. But they had sent me the certificate from the Department of Homeland Security for professionalism and excellence and a commitment to excellence. Well, I didn't forget my training. It took me a year. They don't pass them out for Christmas. And I've shown it to state officers. I've shown it to people to just let them know I'm not making shit up. We're here to fortify our people and embetter and empower our people that are creative and positive. And that's part of my objective here. And now I'm repeating myself. I apologize for repeating myself. X42. And right. So I was thinking possibly just to let you know a couple little details, get out a quick production, give you some basic fundamental information, realize that I feel with every word I speak, I'm pissing my time away and somebody's dying somewhere and it's bothering me. It's bothering me that I could be doing something about something rather than what I am doing the best I can with what I have to work with at this moment. So, for the guys back home, wink, wink. I talked to the Queen of Spain. All is good and cool, and we are looking good. And there were three old elderly women, and they lived together. Excuse me, I'm going to shut this door. They lived together in the same house. They were sisters, and one of them was walking down the stairs, and she stopped in the middle of the stairs, and her mind wandered. And she thought, was I going up the stairs or was I going down the stairs? And then up in the room here, there's another sister, and she was buttoning her blouse, and she heard her sister and stopped for a moment. And then she looked back into the mirror and she thought, am I unbuttoning my blouse or am I buttoning my blouse up? And the third sister, hearing these two, said, oh, you two are just losing your mind. Well, at least I've got sanity. Knock on wood. Was that the front door or was that the back door? So, that's my joke for today. That's my info for this point in time. And a whole lot of fun coming up. I wish, and wishing doesn't do shit. So, if you're going to requests from the universe, consider the details of that request because I have been getting so much positive response from the universe. And it's just been unbelievably amazing. But to expose so much and to sound like a braggart and, I just asked God for this and I got it. Is ranting, in my opinion. I think humility is in order, and I think intelligence and, stealth has something to do with it as well. Right, gang? So, I will think of other more impertinent details. I love that. Who said that? They stopped that. Oh, man. I will think of other impertinent details to convey in my next haphazard production. I spoke with some people in this truck stop, and wherever I go, I support liberty. And I tell people, once again, gang, I tell them, liberty is quarantining the sick. Tyranny is quarantining the healthy. What's going on here? What is going on here? And I tell that to people all over, every day. And I will not stop to inspire the spark of liberty and not anarchy, but the creative reality that we need to. It's called card number 16 in the tarot. Look it up. And that's the first part of recreation. So, love you guys. Be more than happy to convey more details, information, and good humor. Good mood is the best thing to fortify your immune system. And this gets skanky if you're wearing something. It gets nasty within 3 to 4 hours. So if you want to err on the side of caution, just switch it out. Make sure it's clean because you don't want to be putting, your dirty underwear up on your face every day. I know it sounds disgusting. I apologize for the thought, but this is what the government is doing to create wave number 2. Oh, wave number 2 is coming, and you're doing it, dumbasses. And that's pretty much what's that whole plan is about. And Corona means crown. They're flagging it right in front of your face. But that woman isn't the target. That woman isn't the puppeteer. Right? All right? And if you go ahead and think, well, I should shoot him or I should shoot him or her, if you know the name of the person who you think is the puppeteer, it ain't the puppeteer. Because the puppeteer's job is not to let anybody know who the hell they are. That's their job. That's how they stay safe. They have all these other targets out there that people think that's the person. Go get Trump. Go get Pelosi. Go get whatever. Putin or whatever. Point is made, I hope. And I do care about our people, and I'm sick of this crap. Stand up or lie down. It's your choice. Love ya. Talk to you soon.